All right, all right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the session. Today is March 30th, 2026. So we're gonna analyze together the indices to see if we can have some opportunity. So let me know in the chat if you can see my screen, if you can see me, if you can hear me. So let me know real quick. So today might not be a long session. You already know that at 10:30 we're gonna have Chairman Powell that's gonna speak. So this speech might be very important. Okay. So this speech might be very important as a day trader because based on my experience, every time we have downside market like that, we usually have a speech in from Chairman Powell or like from Donald Trump just to recover something, just to recover from all of these losses. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but basically I've seen that in the past. We don't know yet, but I've seen that in the past. All right. So be careful at 10:30. I don't know if I'm gonna still there at 10:30 with you, and I don't know yet. All right. So, but based on market structure, we talked about two things this morning in the breakdown. In the breakdown, we talked about, well, from yesterday's breakdown, because my members on the YouTube channel and also my private student, they got their breakdowns last night. Before I went to bed, I shared the breakdown. And then this morning on my friend's channel, we talked about the potential scenarios. All right. So the first thing we want to see is a continuation lower. Okay. The mistake that you have made last week, it's basically you keep trying to catch the bottom. Okay. You're trying to catch a falling knife. That's basically how they say it. You're trying to catch a falling knife. Last Friday, the only thing I wanted to see is a retracement to keep going lower, but we didn't have the retracement. Okay. I had this imbalance on H4. I had the 50%. The market just retraced a little bit and then just keep dropping lower. And I knew the day before I would not be trading. So when I see that, I'm like, well, the market will just keep dropping lower and not create any sign of retracement. All right. But the thing is, I saw you guys trying to catch a long, and some people try to catch this long. Even though I was live with you and I told you there is no confirmation right here because we were watching the hourly open, we never had confirmation too long. Okay, but the thing is you want to take it, you want to catch the exact low, you want to catch the exact low in 1 minute or 2 minutes or like in seconds sometimes, but as you can see, every time you try to catch it, the market keep dropping lower. So you gotta understand what price is doing. Of course, we want to buy low and sell high. Okay, the market might be at a low, but that doesn't mean we have to buy automatically. And that's the mistake, guys, I see you doing in the community, and I want you to literally stop doing it. Okay, you look so good, coach. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so right now the market looks more bearish than bullish, and actually we had this imbalance on H4. Okay, I think on NQ on ES we traced to the 50% of the previous daily range, as you can see. All right, we retrace at the 50% of the previous daily range, and then now I see a continuation lower. Okay, so now you might say, coach, what about this reaction? remember what I said in the breakdown. As of right now, in order to consider a potential change of cycle, I want to see something like this, okay? Because in my opinion, that was a try. That was a try, okay? I think market makers, like, not market makers, but like the market tried to change cycle right there, okay? But we just keep dropping lower after that, after this manipulation. And this manipulation we talked about in the breakdown, I didn't really pay attention to it at the time because I didn't really like it. The market did not create like huge expansion, okay? This manipulation was really strange, okay? But the market just keep dropping lower, so we respect that manipulation. And this manipulation is basically the start of the cycle, the bearish cycle. So now, in order for me to consider a potential change of cycle to go to the upside, I want to see a manipulation, and I want to see price hold that manipulation. In conclusion, so if you're gonna consider that as manipulation, you want to see price hold it at the end of the day, okay? So if we can't hold it, well, it's not a manipulation, okay? If the manipulation can't create big reaction with conviction, it's not a manipulation, okay? So right now we are reacting from the 50% of the previous daily range. We are respecting this imbalance on H4. I think ES is more interesting than NQ, since we retrace to the 50%. So now my next thing will be like go on lower time frame, wait for the 10 a.m. open to see what's gonna happen. So now today will be different. The fact that Powell is speaking, I'm not sure that I'm gonna try to do anything, okay? But we have this retracement right there. So now I want to see two things happen, okay? Gonna have 8 in the morning right there. It's 8, so that's literally the pre-market high. Okay, so right now I would like to see price leave this liquidity right there, okay, and then retrace, create another manipulation, whether at the pre-market high or at this high, which is the London high, to go lower. Or if we can have an imbalance right there, I will just play the imbalance to go lower. That's what I will do. But again, like I told you, in 45 minutes we're gonna have Chairman Powell speaking. And like I said, I usually see this speech when the market is that low, okay, when we have like a lot of losses. And this speech might be a tentative of like recovery. I've seen that in the past, so that's why I'm saying that, okay? So now we just have to wait. We just have to wait and see what's gonna happen, okay? So I've posted a video about the hourly open. I was thinking about like posting it only for students or post it for the entire community. So I decided to post it for the entire community. At 12 p.m. you're gonna have the video about the hourly open. Of course, it will be in English. It's a clip from a live session I was doing with my English students. Okay, so you're gonna have it at 12. So hopefully you like it and you understand the hourly open, because for the past 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of you guys been asking me for the hourly open, explain the hourly open. Even though I explain it, you keep asking. So after today's video, don't ask me anymore. All right. All right, so now the market cycle is It's bearish. Okay, this is not rocket science. We can see it. That's the last manipulation, and we hold it. We inverted that imbalance. That was the confirmation of confirmation. We inverted that imbalance on H4, and we just keep dropping lower. All right, but based on the daily context, somebody might consider that as potential manipulation, because we open below the previous daily low and then we react right away. It's like today is one of these days where the market cycle like trying to tell us to continue lower, and then the daily context trying to tell us to go higher. So I'm more bearish than bullish. Okay, I'm more bearish than bullish. But if somebody try to catch this, I don't know, retracement, if price really want to go higher to create another manipulation before we drop lower, somebody might try to catch that and to go higher. But I don't think that's gonna be the best opportunity right now. Okay. I don't think that's gonna be the best opportunity right now. So let me check real quick. It's illegal to drive without car. QQQ and SPY have not reached their equal lows yet, while future did. I think. Wait a minute, we have 6 people in the stream. Wait. Which means 6 people. I think YouTube is. I can't have more likes than people. YouTube is. Oh, I got 109 people live, bro. YouTube is capping right now. YouTube is tripping. Yeah, YouTube is tripping. So yeah, I'm more bearish than bullish. I'm just waiting for the hourly open to potentially give a like an entry. We can see our price reacting of the 50, like from the 50% of the previous daily range. Okay, we just stop it, and then we just stop it and we drop lower. That might be enough. That might be enough for price, and literally at 10 we can have something like this. It's not a target. I think a student asked me if it was a target. I don't really see that as a target. Let me just zoom in out. Oh, really see as target. We have all of these as well. You can say small targets. Okay. All right, so we have the first 15 minutes. It's done. The first 15 minutes are done. So we have this big down candle. I will pay attention to some balance we're gonna have right there. Okay, and I will pay attention to, I think we gonna have an inversion. I'm gonna pay attention to this imbalance on H1. Okay. That's imbalance on H1. I think that was it. Yeah. So I have 2 things in my mind right now is retracement. Okay, well, we can consider that as mitigation, since that was 7 in the morning. That was, where is 3 in the morning? That was 3. It's not the best example, but yeah. So any retracement to keep going lower, and the target will be something. So we are still, well, we have this imbalance on the monthly, weekly, and daily, but cycle is not changed yet. Okay, we have this imbalance. At least that's the 50% of the of June 2025. Come back to this area. So remember when price was at all-time high? Okay, I don't know if you remember when price was at all-time high. I told you to be ready. Okay, and I've made a stream and I call it opportunities are coming, right? Do you remember? Do you remember? I told you guys, be ready, opportunities are coming. Okay, I sent you a voice. Okay, I sent you a voice on the WhatsApp and I told you guys, I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know if you're gonna like sell the house. I don't know if you're gonna sell whatever you can sell so you can save money to invest. Okay, so you can save money to invest. Why? Because I expected that, you know. If you're on the WhatsApp chat, you can just go and play the voice and see exactly when I sent the voice. Okay, so now we are already down more than 10%, more than 15%. That's an historical retracement. Okay, which means no matter what happened next, we're gonna have to talk about this retracement in the history of the indices. You know, from the current high to the low, that's 10%. Okay, as soon as you have 10% of retracement, 10-15% of retracement, it's a correction. It's a retracement. It's a huge retracement. This is exactly what we call correction. Okay, this is when people gonna start to invest. I'm not saying price is not like dropping lower, because the retracement might be more than 13%. Okay, but this is exactly the time. If you didn't have a Roth IRA account, if you didn't have an investment account, this is the time to start doing it. This is the right time right now. Okay, don't be the type of person that's gonna regret, well, I didn't buy, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. All right, that's a retracement right there. For long-term investment, that's the perfect time right there. Okay, yes, we can keep dropping lower, but let's say you start a DCA right now, yes, we might drop, let's say 10 more percent, but the market always recover from this correction. Okay, 99% of the time. Okay, well, 100% of the time. The market always recover. Okay, from 2020, from 2008, it doesn't matter, we always recover from losses. All right, that was 2008, we recover. That was 2018, we recover. That was the COVID, we recover. That was 2022, that was a bear market for the entire year, we recover. That was last year. All right, when everybody like, why, well, the market is crashing, like Robert Kiyosaki stuff. Okay, I told you so, the market was about to crash, etc. So we recover. So now we are having another retracement. So it is the perfect time right now to start thinking about long-term investment. Okay, so I don't know why. Same thing on NQ right there. So the poko gen imbalance lan, but imbalance a besoin gros rôle pour moi. If on target ça qui était là, sorry. So imbalance a besoin gros rôle pour moi. So either retracement to keep going lower, we might have another manipulation. But like I said, I'm more bearish than bullish today. Where's my coffee, bro? I forgot my coffee, guys. Si qu'elle va tomber. It's life. Coffee is life. Okay. Coffee is life. Bro, market might just drop lower, like no retracement after the 9:30. That's crazy. Okay, and I will basically change my bearish willingness only if price can create a manipulation and break all of these imbalances. Okay, invert all of these imbalances, and why not disrespect this potential sell area. That's when I will be consider potential change of cycle and trying to long and anything like that. Okay, but like I explained this morning, the breakdown, somebody can consider that as manipulation, but however, this is a bearish cycle. Since that manipulation, the market hold it and we keep going lower. So now you're probably gonna need to see something, but at least you have to wait for price to hold the manipulation, and it's not the case yet. Okay, of course we have all of these hourly candles. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 hours like bullish candle already only, right? And then now we are having a stop. This is not the type of stop I like, but it's still a stop since we reacted at the 50% of the previous daily range. So now we're creating this imbalance on the M15. I see a retracement to keep going lower. Okay, we are not chasing price. I'm not chasing price. Okay, last year a lot of you guys, you've been chasing price and you see the results, right? You see the results. Wait for the confirmation. Wait for the confirmation. If you already have your confirmation right there, like be you. I know how most of you trade, so wait for the confirmation. And remember, at 10:30 we're gonna have Mr. Powell who's gonna speak. Okay, 10:30 Mr. Powell will speak, so gonna have to pay attention to everything. Okay, we also have this imbalance on H4 right there. We are in between these two imbalances, but I'm still more bearish than bullish. Okay, and we are close to 10. Let's see, bro. Disregard of the news. To me, low and high might be said just like last Monday. Yes. So low of day and high of day. That might be the case. Because when the market is going lower, there is a difference than when the market is going lower than when the market is going higher. All right, we can see our price just disrespect that imbalance. That's a good sign. When the market is going lower, it's like the market just jump out of the window. And then when the market is going higher, it's like the market was taking the stairs. Okay, so the market take the stairs to go up and take the elevator to go down, or just jump out of the window, which means price might not have enough strength to go above like previous daily high, or a lot of times when we're going lower. Okay, so that's the hourly open right there. So wait, first, okay, we have this. We can see how price just create 5, 15, 5, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes. Only down candle. We left behind a bunch of imbalances. We have one right there. Okay, we have one right there. 5, we also have one right there. M5. Okay, we also have one right there. M5. And I think ça plus intéressant because they coïncide avec M15 là. But c'est ça plus attire attention, but let's look at the hourly open. And same thing on ES. The only thing now, we are in between two imbalances in the higher time frame. Okay, so if we zoom out a little bit, you can see we have this imbalance on H4, we have this imbalance on H4. Okay, but the fact that the cycle is more bearish than bullish, I still want to see price retrace to drop lower. Okay, I see price create a retracement and then drop lower. So we already take this target I had on my screen. Yes, that's a reaction at the 50% of the previous daily range. We just talk about it. We talk about it. So okay. So now hear me out. If price invert that imbalance and close above the New York Stock Exchange, and both of them, okay, if both of the indices create that move, well, I will use any next hourly open. I don't think I'm gonna be on my chart because I have to go out this morning. So if price can do that, an hourly open might be enough for somebody to take a small long and then to go to the upside. Because remember, we talked about all of the potential scenarios in the breakdown, and I don't think I will be mad if somebody tell me that's a manipulation, coach. That's why I put it in yellow right there, right there. Okay, that's why I put it in yellow right there. Okay, so we have this H4 imbalance, we have this H4 imbalance, but in order for me to consider that reaction from this imbalance, we have to invert this imbalance on the M15 and close above the New York Stock Exchange. And I want to see it in both assets. I want to see it on S&P 500 and I want to see it on NQ. Okay, so now let's be patient and pay attention to what's happening right now. Okay, don't forget that Mr. Powell will talk in a few minutes. The chairman, we will see, bro. We will see. Même quoi mauvais bouquet mieux matin. Guys, drop some like in the stream if you like what you see. If you like the stream, YouTube is tripping, guys, because YouTube's saying I got only 5 people watching me, but I got 113 right now. So I don't know what's going on YouTube. I don't know, man. I still do my session, but So the reason why I talked about the speech of Powell, like I said, it's not like you already know me. I trust my market analysis more than anything else. But in the past, I've seen that before. Well, like the market is heavily bearish, and Powell will do a speech just to recover, you know, just to create like just to give like reassurance. Okay, just to say people, don't worry, like everything will be okay. The Fed is doing his best and to fix things, and especially on Monday. Okay, most of the time we don't have we don't have such news on Monday. Okay, but yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Powell, like if they use the speech as excuse to just move price to the upside with massive explosion. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So guys, est-ce que les nous garder stream nan, nous yo di m'gen seulement, I don't know, 8, 7, 5 moun kap gade m. How many people you see? Because I don't know si c'est beaucoup te pam. So nan bagay yo mwen wè quantité moun nan, but nan YouTube mwen wè seulement entre 6 à 10 moun. And I don't know what's going on. And with graphic, I don't know if you're here, bro, but you gotta help me. You gotta help me because we talked about that. We talked about that recently. Okay. We talked about I was talking with graphic during the weekend. Something is happening on my YouTube channel because views are updating and even views me gen déjà updating ou bien me gen views no video et puis moi commence à sorti and I don't know what's going on. Mais quand y a assez live views yo pas apparaître. I don't think me fait rien qui back when fine ki bagay man. So we gotta check this out, bro. We gotta check this out, man, because that's weird. Remember I told you that in the weekend? That's definitely weird for me. Pourquoi c'est moun yo ka attaquer m comme ça, mes amis? Alright. So you see probably 5, 7, 2 people, but in reality we are like more than 100 of people right now. So nous n'importe kounya la nous 111. So si c'est YouTube qui problème nan, YouTube is changing. I don't know what it is. I think it's about the AI content. It is about Monday or running your test about that. Ah, c'est pas moment pour YouTube à faire ça. This is not the right time, bro, because that pisses me off, bro. I'm not gonna lie. that pisses me off sometimes because je m'aime ta plein ba wa, il pas fait aucun sens. Il pas fait aucun sens pour moi ça m'a voye. OK. Il pas fait aucun sens pour moi ça m'a voye. And comment faire like channel ça qui pi grandi que l'autre là, moi chiffre normal and then channel ça moi chiffre a baissé. And I don't know, bro. M'a utiliser fake followers, fake subscribers, fake likes. I don't know this thing. En tout cas, après des temps. Plutôt c'est YouTube. Plutôt c'est YouTube. So Let me check. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. Si c'est YouTube, it's fine. If it's YouTube, it's fine. Okay. If it's YouTube and it's fine because you're not gonna be happy when you're working and you see like if I be say your results are not doing great. Okay. And especially when you're a content creator, like on video for like 3 hours. It's not easy, guys, you know. One video might take 3 hours and people not gonna like, they're not gonna subscribe, they're not gonna watch it, and you bring value to people, but they're not gonna like, they don't care. And in addition to that, so get again, we are waiting you and like, what's going on? But plutôt c'est ça. Ok, plutôt c'est ça. Plutôt c'est ça qui passe. Okay, so right now, guys, we can see price is moving away from this H4 imbalance. I'm not looking for bullish opportunity right now. Okay, especially after this big down candle. Okay, well, we are in 4 hours. This up movement, I literally see it as the first move, right, to set the high of the candle and then to drop lower. Okay, I'm not trying to catch any up move right now. Okay, yes, that might be a manipulation, and we talked about potential retracement, manipulation to keep going higher as the daily context show a little bit of sign of strength. But I decided to just wait for the entire cycle to be changed, which means then I want to see price invert all of these imbalances and these potential sell area to consider any buy opportunity right now. Bonjour coach, qui ça moun ka tire dans espace 4h 10h PM à 6h PM? Boss would have 6h AM because ou bien 6h PM à 10h PM. Qui ça moun ka tire entre 6h PM à 10h PM? Bah c'est ça que je voulais dire. J'en mettais là, il y a deux bagailles. Il doit dire 4 heures, non, on dit 2 heures du matin. Donc, on dit 6 heures PM à 10 heures PM. So, well, you will have to backtest. And because one thing is sure, okay? Yo ba souvent dit nous, m'a dit nous ça longtemps, right? Dans 5 jours dans semaine yo, gen un jour, at least un jour, market la set low of the la, high of the la na Zen session. Okay, this is not something new. Okay. Oh, de 4h10 à 6h PM. Oh, ok, on a compris. 4h PM à 6h PM. Oh. On va pas faire une wine this year. You're probably gonna have to trade something else. Because market land close at 5. Well, after hours fini at 5. Real market land close at 4. And then you're over at 6. So there was nothing you can do, bro, at this period of time. I don't know, but back we're going on cafe. Unless you try to analyze other assets, okay, go to Forex and try to find something. But pour indication, back we're going off. Et même pour Forex to like 5. They open at 5 PM Eastern time, so ou pas vraiment, ou seulement gagner de temps. So pendant temps ça, moi me t'a backtester. OK. Si c'est seulement temps ça me t'a gain équilibre, me t'a utiliser temps ça pour me just backtester. Et backtester garder qui ça market là fait pendant la journée hein, et then pour nous avancer. Gain pas seulement moi-même, gain Cookie, gain Carter, nous font pas que temps faire ça guys. Nous font pas que temps à cause de la vie pays étranger. Nous just have backtest. Nous just have study. ok, nous just have study and nous dit nous, ok, bagay va arrêter comme ça. De toute façon, we're gonna find days to trade at some point, we don't know yet, but at some point, we will be able to trade in the New York Stock Exchange, okay? And then we rentre like I know after work or after school, we study price action. We study what happened in the New York Stock Exchange. And then mois passé, nous chercher l'autre travail ou bien nous chercher l'autre activité, nous jeunons moyen qu'on y a pour trade New York Stock Exchange. And then finally we can trade the New York Stock Exchange. And then yeah, nous fait plusieurs temps faire ça. M'expliquez nous ça plusieurs fois déjà. Pendant un certain temps tout, moi regarder ça qui market là fait dans Asian période, les GPY, les NZD, les AUD. OK? But yeah. Coach said NQ react on previous daily range, mettez 50% là, but 23,577.50 is not a target. Plus ouais ça comme target. Je pense qu'on va parler de high ça. T'as regardé le talé, hein? Let me just check. Yeah, it can be considered as target. But moi pas bullish just because the entire cycle, the market is heavily weak. And anytime I'm bullish, ma fait no koni. Okay. Well, même si I'm utilisé pour indicio, you're gonna use the same for the Forex assets. It's just like you're not gonna have the pre-market. You don't have pre-market in Forex. You don't have the first 30 minutes low and highs. You don't have that, but you can still use the hourly open. You can still use the previous daily low and previous daily high. Okay, and you can still use the previous weekly low, previous weekly high, and backtest them. I have students that they just like they trade Forex and by using the same things, the same concepts, the same strategy, you know. So a friend of mine used the Frankfurt Open. I don't use that. I know other people. I know some other people that are using it, but I don't use it. The Frankfurt Open. The Frankfurt Open is definitely German stuff, the German market, but I have no idea. I think it's between the Asian and the London, or like they're all together. I know that there are so many ways to analyze the market. There are so many concepts, so many strategy, and there's not one way of doing things. Okay, and that's why I like trading too. That's why I like trading. Okay, when you go to school, like there is only one way of doing things. Anywhere else there is only one way of doing things. Well, in trading, no. Okay. In trading, there are like thousands of strategy, and the reason why is because people making money off that. Because beginners, most of the time, they think they have lack of strategy. Of course, yes, sometimes, yes, most of the time, yes, but sometimes it's not the strategy, bro. Sometimes your brain just keep trying to find more things to learn, you know. But in reality, you just have to go to the market and lose some money. That's how you're gonna learn the most important thing. Okay, you're not gonna learn the most important things by watching me. Okay, so yes, I'm teaching you important stuff, right? But you're gonna learn more by going in the market and losing money, going in the market and create your own, do your own experience. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, the reason why we have all of these strategies, and all of them, they are basically the same thing, bro. They are just the same thing, and the marketing side just like they change certain stuff, they change the names. Okay, just like in the ICT community, not just ICT communities, it's everywhere, but the ICT community really like pisses me off because What is a fair value gap? They don't know. It's just an imbalance, bro. Why you complicate stuff? It's the same strategy, you know. And at some point, you have to understand that. You have to understand that, well, most of the strategies, they are the same thing. Okay, game on cap dit, well, c'est ça lié, c'est ça qui bon. What you talking about, bro? What you talking about? You just understand something, you can make money with it and keep it. That's it. I don't care if seule stratégie Mouglia. Bad jams il touche le sous NQ, non? Il touche le sous ES border. That's ES. Il touche le sous ES. Seule stratégie Mouglia m'a venu utiliser. Even though like some people using it, but I don't know. I don't think that's something that's bah j'aime tendre yon hedge funds manager ou bien yon moun qui gen yon firme trading qui vraiment lou dans communauté trading nan a parler de like nouvelle lune, pleine lune, dernier quartier, premier quartier pour yo buy, pour yo sell. I don't trust these things, bro. I'm sorry. That's me. Again, that's me. C'est humain, you fait stratégie tourner religion, pas m'pi bon. Yeah, bro. Like, it's a cult. Nowadays, it's a cult. You know, there is the supply and demand cult. There is like ICT cult. There is like support and resistance cult. People don't even want to make money anymore. They want to prove other people their strategy is working. That's the main goal right now. And that's crazy because I thought the first thing was learning something to make money. Okay. That's why I usually tell you guys, well, I'm showing you all of these things, but I want you to go in the market and having your own experience. Okay. Because everything is on the mind, not the strategy, bro. Okay. Not the strategy. Okay. And if you're a beginner, you'll like hear me out. I know you might not trust me right now, but 99% of the time, your problem is not the strategy. 99% of the time, the problem is not the strategy. Okay, the problem is the discipline. The problem is over leveraging. The problem is like you can't like hold yourself accountable. The problem is like impatience. The problem, you want to skip steps in the process. That's something too. Okay, you want to skip steps in the process. And one thing about trading, well, not just trading, in life, any step you skip, you will come back to it. Okay, there is no other way around. Okay, so there is no shortcut. If you're a beginner, you might not trust me. Okay, you might, well, coach, I think supply and demand is the best, support and resistance is the best, blah 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 is the best, ICT is the best. When you're gonna have your experience, you will realize that, you know what, the problem is not the strategy. Okay, you're gonna realize that on your own. Okay, and it's not, I don't know how to say that, but you see how like I never telling you guys, all right, come to my community and you're gonna make a lot of money. I never say my strategy is the best. I never say I'm the best coach. Well, sometimes I'm gonna say that, you know, because yeah, I think I'm the best. Let's forget the best coach because I'm the best coach anyways. So get this about I'm just part of them deal, and then we keep having results, and that's the difference. Okay, and love on step back with shita and then par exemple, hier, m'te gen yon appel avec trading partner moi yo. And then, n'a pren nou compte que ça n'a fait là qui paraît vraiment développé, c'est juste même bagay basic que nous t'a fait depuis 2021 qui juste pi avancé, but pas gagné de différence. Différence là, it's mind nous qui change et pas market là, et pas stratégie. It's our brain, it's our mind. Okay? So the way we think, the way we see things, the way we analyze things, the way we trying to manage our expectations, we're trying to like count ourselves accountable, we're trying to be more disciplined. And if you can do this, it doesn't matter what you use as strategy, you're gonna win. Okay, it doesn't matter what you use as strategy. If you can count yourself accountable, you can be disciplined, you can be patient. You know, you're not gonna let somebody on social media, because you go on social media and somebody talk about making a lot of money, and ou get a senti pa rien, ou get a senti faut ta mouri because ou pa wèk lan en vie. If you can manage these things, bro, ne wot so utilize nan market lan wap fè l'argent, because the market is like a mirror, you know. How you see yourself, that's how you're gonna see the market, okay? How you behave, how you do everything, that's what's gonna happen in the market. But that's gonna take some time to understand and to agree, because sometimes you're gonna understand something. I'm not I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I truly believe that the power is in the support and resistance. The power is in the manipulation. The power is in the break and retest or supply and demand. I don't know the other side. No, the power is you, but you're gonna take some time to realize that. But the problem is, before you realize that, you're gonna like you're gonna have already like 10,000 strategies on your notebook. You're gonna have like 10,000 strategies, and that's the thing. Before you realize, you know what, the problem is not the strategy. And c'est parce qu'on vont moment tellement de stratégie et puis qu'on y a ou dit que c'est pas ça le problème là. Le problème là c'est moi-même. OK? Le problème là c'est moi-même. So it's almost 10:30, and the hourly context, if we can say that, does not give us any sign of low or high set. Okay, so I still want to see price going lower, especially ES. But let's wait. We don't have any confirmation. Okay. When I say we don't have confirmation, just don't try to like open your top step real quick and take a long or take a short, because I said I'm lower than that's the thing. The fact that I say I'm lower or I'm higher, I want to see price moving to the upside or downside, that doesn't mean you're gonna have to just open your top step account and take the trade. That's not what it means. Okay. Nous faisons ça tout le temps. Quand on regarde live, me dit moi price aller lower and higher. Pour qu'on ait aucune confirmation, and then nous get entré. Si on regarde net TikTok, yo cap trade, cause matin midi soir, y a une position, si ou pas connaît discipline, ou ka di c'est ou qui pas réussir, ou soit qui pas trouver opportunité. Of course, bro. Zazou de Nazareth. Bon, on qui les Zazou, but son femme. Les femmes sont chez right? So yeah, when you like watching people on TikTok, bro, and I pose des questions, c'est son trader, parce que là, dans 3 minutes là, je sais que prend 15 trades. And then, même, m'a analyser toujours, m'a peut-être market vin là, fait ça, etc. You are doing the right things, okay? You are doing the right things. You are doing the right things. Trust me, bro. Okay. Trust me. We had tellement gen certificat semen ça, that's crazy. And ba mwen poste tout non. Ba pou certificat but mwen poste pi out semen ça. Yeah, I have a lot of certificates in my WhatsApp on like Librite WhatsApp and sorry moun yo ba poste yo but yeah, nous te gen on payout pendant semaine nan. Alright. Remember ki sa mte di pendant 2020 avant 2026 commencer, okay? Avant 2026 commencer, I told you we're gonna have one payout per week. At least one payout per week. That's why I call it payout 2026. I sent a message on the Discord. It's the year is payout 2026. I'm gonna put it in the title right now every time. Okay. Why I said that? Why I'm like we're gonna have a lot of payouts in 2026. Why? Because I talk to my students. I talk to most of you. That's another thing, you know. M'pa fè superstar like comme si n'a gade m'la chaque jour mais nous pas parler avec etc. M'pa mentor comme si chaque 3 mois ou entendil. I'm always there, okay, talking to you and understanding certain stuff. And then défini par réaliser que en pile nan nous commencer arriver comprendre et accepter quelques bagailles sans faire réticence. Okay? Because tant avant yo, dès qu'on a dit nous guys, listen. M'ka bullish. Moins ka bullish. Mais si nous fait analyse nous bearish, m'vle pour nous kembe bearishness nous. M'vle pour nous koué nan ça n'a dit. M'vle pour nous koué nan stratégie nous. Et nous commencer le changement ça, you know. Nous commencer les gens qui accepter que le fait que on semaine capacité de prendre 2-3 trades. And then automatiquement que me commencer ouais ça dans la communauté and I'm like, all right, 2026 we're gonna have a lot of payouts. What happened? Est-ce que me dit moun pour trade chaque jour non? Est-ce que me dit moun pour prendre 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 trades par jour non? Au contraire me dit pour prendre less trade. And commencer ouais gen nan nou qui commencer comprendre ça. And gen comprendre, gen accepter. Qui lo accepte ton bagay? Ou accepte ton bagay là comme si pas aucune résistance. Pas aucune résistance derrière tout même si oui gen émotion etc. But there is no resistance at all. OK? C'est là qu'on commence à accepter un bagay. OK? So, on commence à gen nou qui commence à accepter ça et automatiquement que gen nou commence à accepter ça, gen l'autre monde qui va suivre ça, you know? Because it's like on effet domino lié. On moun accepter, on l'autre accepter and then commencer ouais ça et me dit OK, 2026 we're gonna have payouts. It's not rocket science. It's not. Because I know what's right because I've been doing it for years, you know? And si ou même ou still pour ka koué ça ou, alma de n'importe monde qui accepte prend moins trade, qui accepte pas over leveraging, qui accepte focus sur qualité que quantité, qui accepte pas laisser faire revenge, qui accepte pas faire yon bad day even worse because en pile fois ça qui mette nous en bad low hein, c'est parce que we make a bad day worse, okay? Like ou t'es déjà bon bad day but ou ajouter bagage sur lui pour venir faire worse, okay? And moi de n'importe monde qui accepte faire travail ça y a dit yeah bro, as soon as que me commence faire bagage ça moi plus bon résultat. And that's what I've been telling you. That's why I told you like the problem is not the strategy and the solution is not the strategy. So pas un résultat, c'est pas courir chercher l'autre moto. Well, sometimes yes, you know. Sometimes yes, si moto avant là, si ou pas aucun ou pourrait pas aucun monde capoter résultat because at the end of the day, ou bon regarder. At the end of the day, ou bon regarder, bon j'ai bon cerveau pour réfléchir. OK, at the end of the day, ou bon regarder. Donc faut poser cette question. Ok, dat nan group ça là, dat nan Discord ça là, dat nan bagay ça là. Bon moi est-ce qu'il m'a vu 5 traders qui font payout. Bon moi est-ce qu'il m'a vu 5 traders qui rentable. Parce que ça est important tout. Bon moi est-ce qu'il m'a vu quelques traders qui passent challenge. OK? Prenez à utiliser stratégie parce que une communauté ça m'a dit à café zin. Une communauté guys, mon yo ap gade. Et monsieur gen nan nou ki la. Moun ap gade, moun ap trade avec stratégie nan, moun ap fait TP, mais ou poste TP dans notre communauté. and then pour moun yo c'est communauté a gen résultat. But, you know, ça a même ni chaud ni fret. OK. Ça va même ni chaud ni fret. You know, like, come on. Ça va même ni chaud ni fret. Like, moun yo ap gade, mais les ou font résultat, yo poster dans notre communauté, yo pour faire connaître ces stratégies. Ça va déranger. OK, like, I don't know why, but ça va déranger. But, vous supposez poser cette question, est-ce que moun yo ap trade stratégie ça vrai? Est-ce qu'il y a des résultats vrais par rapport avec ça que ou il y a pas prendre yo? OK? Oui, c'est vrai, me dit problème non c'est pas coach, c'est problème non c'est pas stratégie, hein, même pas dit pour naïf tout. Pas dit pour naïf tout. OK? Hier m'pas son très bonne journée guys. M'pas son très bonne journée, me relax, fait bout après-midi à jouer PlayStation avec des séries des partenaires qui me fait longtemps pas jouer avec eux d'Haïti. So and then yon là de maîtriser e-commerce très bien. OK, yon là de maîtriser e-commerce très bien. And then monsieur pas fait classe, monsieur pas fait cours, monsieur pas fait rien. And then monsieur expliquer me des séries de bagages. It's sad, bro. It's sad. M'pas si non monde. Mais yon green moun dans tout réseau là. Qui parle nous de Amazon, e-commerce, etc. qui gagne résultat vrai. On sel moun. M'pas si non. Après ça, before moun yo, it's like c'est formation qu'a fait quoi, but it's the same thing in trading. It's the same. It's sad, but well, there's nothing you can do about it, you know, because when you're not even pile, can't just louer un Lamborghini, louer un Mercedes et puis me faire photo et puis me dire commenter dans post là, m'a voué une stratégie gratis pour et puis le commenter me voué on bail ba ou pour payer $1000 ou du moins me prendre numéro téléphone ou après ça m'a brûlé chaque 3 minutes, chaque 5 minutes m'a brûlé pour prendre information. Well, it's the same thing in trading. But mais ça m'a jamais comprendre c'est que comment faire ou entrer dans formation, on dit que ou entrer dans formation ou pas jamais formation pour tes résultats. And then chaque semaine vous venez avec un nouveau bagage pour payer un bagage en plus et then nous continuer payer. C'est là me perdre. Hein. Nous pas pas qu'on buy you do. I'm going to buy you do, right? Nous juste rester là nous va parler, mais nous connaissons pas le bagage de yo. OK. Bah c'était ton monde. OK. D'ailleurs nous dernièrement là me quitter commentaire mauvais, j'ai attaqué me quitter commentaire mauvais pour tout le monde nous j'ai attaqué. That's what happened when you saying like bagay l'objet débat ça. But it's the same thing in trading. Like ou pas rentrer dans formation like chaque semaine mon nan go nouveau bagay la présenter et then nous continue à payer bro. Et nous beaucoup gain résultat, ou beaucoup gain un résultat, ou du moins résultat gain c'est parce qu'on regarde Lee Bright. C'est parce qu'on regarde John Fibonacci. So il va faire aucun sens. Et on a continué à attaquer de toute façon. Et on a fait ni chaud ni fret. Côté mi à nous à moi-même. But yeah, dans la conversation avec frère, it's like tout le monde qui a fait commercial et nous dit ça déjà, nous dit nous ça déjà. C'est mon setup classe yo. OK? Like, toutes ces mêmes familles, toutes ces mêmes côtés, tout apprendre même bagaille, et puis chaque fait communauté par différent, but pas aucun résultat vrai. OK? Pas aucun résultat vrai. It's sad, but it's the same thing in trading. Devle prend exemple dans l'autre field, but it's the same thing in trading, bro. Moun yo pa gen comment comprendre? On moun qui pa gen résultat ka fò gen résultat. They don't have results, so that's why you pa jam gen. Li impossible. Li impossible. Vous supposez suivre moun qui gen résultat. Well, il va obliger moi-même seulement. Like, plein de monde qui gen résultat. But, on dit qu'on fin payer une formation qu'on a. Faut qu'on garde, ok, est-ce qu'il y a moun qui porter résultat, est-ce qu'il y a avancement qui fait, est-ce qu'il y a progrès qui fait. And est-ce que moun nan tout li apprendre leadership? You know? Bah, c'est important to me because leadership is very important. Okay? Leadership is very important because I've been like regarde un paquet de formations que ce soit américain ou bien haïtien, bon, pas vraiment une formation haïtien, but get feedback yo, we have a lack of leadership, okay? Because mon n'a pas depuis que soit li connu ou bien le formation, li supposé faire style ce monde. Okay? Li supposé faire style ce monde and li supposé pas présent nobody. If somebody pay you, I don't know, m'pa konn qui ça fait, but faut mon nan joindre ça le payer pour le joindre. That's the first thing, okay? And secondly, John C. Maxwell has been talking about that leadership is not telling people do this, do that, okay? Leadership is doing and people will follow you. That's what it is, okay? You start doing stuff, people will follow you, okay? So I'm commencé faire YouTube channel live and people follow me, you know? And when I'm talking about discipline, pas di moun yo discipline, no. I'm live et puis montrer moun yo voilà. Moi patient, j'aime dire nous patient, moi patient tout. J'aime dire nous discipliner, m'a essayer discipliner tout. OK? Because c'est pas comme si gon niveau discipline ou atteindre ou pas le plus haut. OK? So nous vraiment gain lack of leadership. Exactly. It's same thing. $10,000, bro. $10,000. Mbap di ki es. Gon moun nan communauté a la $10,000. I gotta go, guys. It's 10:45. It's almost 11. All right. But bon font conclusion. Woodley dit, if we're gonna sell, coach, I guess NQ look better. Actually, NQ is weaker. Sorry, guys. NQ is weaker. Negative 0.24. ES is positive 0.29. But I'm still with price ali higher encore. Okay. I might be wrong, but I don't trust this hourly context. Okay. So, Babito ni si market na next hour nou te ka monte manipulate sa avant nou drop lower because I'm still bearish, okay? So, we have a nice break below the hourly open. Surtout les deux assets yo, nou konnen big guys, right? Surtout les deux assets yo, so sa ka enough, okay? So, Woodley simta ou même si ki yo ta vraiment vle prendre position ça, en tap réduire risque moins, en tap diviser l'en deux. A veut dire que m'ta risque mon petit casse là et puis si market là monte puis devant me fait stop loss dans ça me risque l'autre partie dans confirmation que m'va joindre là mais gon bagay m'vle prêter attention c'est que retracement ça pas créer aucun imbalance OK retracement ça pas créé aucun imbalance. Like lack of conviction in my opinion. Okay, so la gen difficulté pour me trust li. So we have a nice break. Okay, well, sorry we have a nice break, but the timing in 1040. Okay, 1040, like 1040, 1045, we finally have a break. We nous seulement gain 15 minutes QET, 15 minutes QET. Pour moi-même, li pas. The timing is off because literally the hourly context. N'a pas ça dans vidéo aujourd'hui, on a posté à midi. Dans first 30 minutes, yo besoin de price. Dans first 30 minutes, yo moi ta remé ouais price set low ou bien high là. Hour. Ça dit mouvement ça qui vous faites là, faut le faire dans 30 premières minutes yo. That's the highest probability. Okay? That's the highest probability. Parce que songez bien, market là, il y a 4 bagages pour le faire dans hour. Hein. Either c'est la bullish or bearish, okay? It doesn't matter. Market là, il y a 4 bagages pour le faire dans hour. Hein. Il y a pour lui aller to the upside, il y a pour aller dans le sens inverse, côté que il pas aller, hein? Okay? So that's 9, that's 10, okay? So that's the hourly open. So first, market là, il y a pour aller dans la direction côté que il pas aller, hein? Okay? And then, Snyder son demande mais qu'il can utilize pour le scalping. Yes, you capable like every hour you can find opportunity. Well, not every hour, but à chaque 1 hour, you can faire ça. OK? Je te réponds ça dans vidéo qu'a posté jeudi après que je te réponds Snyder son ça. OK? So, that's the hourly open, right? Qui s'est passé market là, li aller to the upside first, OK? And then exactly at 9:30, the opening of the New York Stock Exchange. So 9:30, 9:35, ou bien 9:25, 9:30, it's basically dernier lay pour joindre hourly high ou bien hourly low, sous bullish ou bien sous bearish. 30 premières minutes, c'est dans 30 premières minutes, tu as remis ouais market dans 7 low ou bien 7 high là. Est-ce que le par contre fait pita? Oui, sometimes, but not focus so high probability. That's what's gonna happen most of the time. So now, we gain hourly open qui sont fait là à 10 heures. So now, we move to the upside first. Remember, we are bearish. Ça veut dire que c'est pas hourly open qui fait me connaître si bearish ou bien si bullish. Je vais connaître bearish, OK? Quand a moi expect pour price set hourly high là dans 30 premières minutes yo, and then it a better to s'il te retaper imbalance, s'il te venu dans imbalance M15 que nous sommes censé gagner là qui passe en fait. OK? So, interpréter dans next hour. Interpret it the next hour and then wait. Okay. Wait the next hour pour moi est-ce que price pas fait ça and then pour aller lower. And pas vraiment capable de dire ça là. OK, pas vraiment capable de dire ça qui a passé là. So, that will be it for today, guys. Hopefully you've learned from my session. You have the idea, you have my point of view. Okay, I'm more bearish than bullish. The bearish cycle is still there. Okay, we're still in a bearish cycle since that manipulation. And jeudi m'a gen un appel avec private student moi concernant market cycle. Moi prévoir poster vidéo ça sur chaîne YouTube là. Okay, because it's been a while since m'pa no video concept or things like that. M'passe appel jeudi m'a postel sur channel là, même pas di nou ki lè. Okay, so appel là fait jeudi but m'pa di nou ki lè m'a postel. Okay, so that will be it for today, guys. It was a pleasure to serve you. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. And as always, tag moi sur story Instagram nous pour nous participer dans giveaway 10,000 subscribers. Nous très loin 10,000 subscribers parce que nous pas share channel là. But yeah, so at 10,000 subscribers, we're gonna have a giveaway, and then after that, we're gonna have at least one giveaway every month. Après 10,000 subscribers. Okay. Ça veut dire, je vais te nommer nous pour nous mettre channel là à 10,000. Après ça, nous continuer à giveaway chaque mois. You know? So, you can just tag the Bright Academy. Ça arrive que, oh, and also, the book of the month will be The Disciplined Trader. Okay? from Mark Douglas. All right, so hopefully you already have your book. That's the book of the month. Bon, c'est que n'a pas le devant derrière, bon, font bail pour nous. Bon, font bail pour nous real quick. Okay, so là, on va le plus bien. So, the disciplined trader from Mark Douglas. Bon, c'est que nous lisons en pile trading in the zone, but ça son gem too. Okay, ça son gem too. So see you tomorrow, same time, 9:30. And remember, Monday usually set the tone for the week. Okay, Monday definitely set the tone for the week. Okay, be patient on Monday. Okay, be patient on Monday, be disciplined on Monday. Don't miss your workout on Monday. Don't miss your session on Monday. Gon paquet bagay sou fon façon pour pas rater ou nan lundi, gen pile chance pour continuer faire pendant la semaine. Because Monday set the tone for the week. See you tomorrow.